Hey everyone, so here we go, factoring expressions. This is also a review lesson. This is like the opposite of using the distributive property. Okay, so factoring expressions means that you are rewriting an expression as a product of factors. Okay, so if you think about yesterday, we ordered 3 combo meals. So if one meal came with 2 tacos and 1 drink, and me, Mrs. Collins, and you went to Taco Bell and thought, well, if we order 3 of these meals, what kind of food should we look for in the bag? Using the distributive property, it showed me that I should expect 6 tacos to be in the bag and 3 drinks. Okay, well, today we are factoring the expression. So instead of distributing the factor, we're actually going to take out a factor and see what's left in parentheses. So, for example, today we're thinking, well, what if I was handed 10 tacos and 5 drinks? How many combo meals is this? In order to solve this problem, we're going to use the GCF. Okay, so again, you have 10 tacos in the bag and you have 5 drinks. Well, 10 and 5, the greatest common factor, both of them I can think is 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So this is the greatest common factor. I'm going to take that on the outside of the parentheses. Then I just have to think, well, how many tacos would that be? 5 times what? Gives me 10. So 5 times 2 tacos plus 5 times what is how many drinks? Well, find my blue marker here. 5 times 1 is 5. So that means that one meal was 2 tacos and 1 drink, and we had 5 combos. It's like undoing what we did yesterday. Okay, I'm taking my 2 numbers, finding a common factor, and then rewriting it as a product of 2 things. So 5 times 2 plus 1. So let's take a look at what an example of the problem would look like. If we are going to factor this expression using the GCF, what we're going to do is take this off to the side. Well, here's my 2 terms, 12 and 21. Then I think, what do they have in common? 2? No, they don't have 2 in common. How about 3? Yes, they have 3 in common. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, so that means that 3 times 4 plus 7 is my new expression. Okay, it's like 3 times what gives you 12, and then you think 3 times what gives you 21. And to check your answer, you can always add and solve, right? Redistribute it. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, let's take a look at an example when there is a variable. Okay, so this time it's the same thing, except now they threw a variable in there, but it's the same exact process. Since it says use the GCF, I have to think, well, the first thing I'll do is find the GCF of 16 and 36. Okay, so I think I start with 2. Are they both divisible by 2? Yes, they are. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 36 divided by 2 is 18. I can keep going. They're both divisible by 2 again. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 18 divided by 2 is 9. These two things, these two numbers, 4 and 9, don't have anything else in common. So that means I've found my GCF. going to be 2 times 2. So that means 4 is the factor I'll pull out. Then I have to think 4 times what is 16x? Well, 4 times 4 is 16. I can't forget my variable. Keep the sign minus. Now 4 times what is 36? And there is my answer. I rewrote this expression as the product of two things. Okay, now they might apply this to a word problem, okay, or like a real life situation. If you were given that the area, so all of this inside, if the area is 21x plus 7 and you're given the length, what is the width going to be? So you have to think, well, I'm going to be using the distributive property. So that means 7 is going to be a factor because if you think area equals length times width, well, I have the length. That's 7. 7 is going to be multiplied by something that's going to give me 21x plus 7. Okay, so I'm going to factor out. If I have 21 and I have 7, they have 7 in common. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So that means I'll have 3x plus 1. Since this is my length, this must be my width. Because 7 times 3x plus 1 will give me 21x plus 7. Always look back and think, well, what do I know? I've given length, I'm given width, and I'm given area. So in your head, you should be thinking, oh, I know area is length times width. And the distributive property is the product of two things. So how could I use that to help me find the answer?